What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. Today we're going to be going over another beginner's guide and tutorial. Now this one is for brand new players. Of course, if you're a veteran player or you've been playing the game for a little while, this video will not help you. However, like I said, I've been getting requests for this one quite a bit, and although I thought I had covered pretty much everything for beginners in my beginner's guides and tutorials playlist, this one was never done. So today we're going to be discussing where to get crafting materials. What I mean by crafting materials is the materials needed to upgrade a piece of your gear. Let me see if I can find something that is unupgraded. Actually, let's just go right to our inventory and we'll look at, say, this relic. So we see that this particular relic is a level 6 of 10. If you look down on the bottom there, say we wanted to upgrade this relic. To upgrade it, we're going to need motes and clusters. These are two different crafting materials that can possibly drop. To upgrade anything through the game at all, you're going to need various crafting materials. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the crafting material vault and go through each type of material. Basically, starting off, we've got our amps up top. Amps are going to be used for various reasons. The amps are going to drop in each particular chaos tier in expeditions, and they will drop from a comparative difficulty map in Onslaught. So if you're just getting started in Onslaught and you're on floor 1, you're going to get Chaos 1 amps to drop, of course, and then Chaos 2 comes from Chaos 2, Chaos 3 from Chaos 3, etc., etc. Now Chaos 8 amps do start dropping at floor 30 plus. There was some mystery on this one because when these first were clarified in the patch notes said floor 35 plus. However, it has been confirmed multiple times over now that they do drop at floor 30 plus. I, for one, got one on floor 32, so I know they do drop lower than floor 35. Now, these are extremely rare. You're not going to see these all the time. These other amps you're going to get every single map you run. You're going to just run into amps and have lots of them throughout the course of your play. Chaos 8 amps will be much, much more elusive. Now moving right along to the various item-specific crafting materials. As we looked at that relic, it takes pristine clusters and pristine motes to upgrade them. Pristine clusters, of course, are associated with relics, so any relic that you want to upgrade, it's going to require clusters of the various tiers. All of the plain type crafting materials are going to drop from Chaos 1 to Chaos 3. All of the shinies are going to drop from Chaos 4 to Chaos 6. And then the pristine level crafting materials will drop from Chaos 7 and up in Onslaught. Now, you're going to have a specific item for each piece of gear. So depending on the gear's level, whether it be Chaos 1 through Chaos 7, you're going to need one of the different plain, shiny, or pristine materials to upgrade it. These are going to be found in specific regions of expeditions. Now, if you do the same map from a region, say you did Molten Citadel, which in expeditions, that is a dungeon map. If you do Molten Citadel in Onslaught, it is going to count as a dungeon map, and it's going to give you those pristine clusters that you're going to want. So each individual item, whether it be gloves, boots, head, whatever, is going to require a different type of material. The leathers, the scales, the rings, the quills, or the ingots. Now we see these hammers here. The hammers are used just for tinkering mods. So if you're moving mods around, depending on, once again, the quality level of the item you're moving, whether it be Chaos 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5, or 6, you're going to need plains or shinies. And then the endgame stuff at Chaos 7, you're going to need the pristine ancient hammers to tinker with those items. And then it comes to motes. Motes are one of the things that are going to drop throughout the map. The individual crafting materials only come from victory chests. Motes will drop from mobs throughout the map. It is limited. You'll get a set amount of motes per map, depending on, once again, what motes you're looking for. Plain motes are going to be Chaos 1, 2, and 3. Shiny motes are 4, 5, and 6, and then pristines are going to be Chaos 7 and up. Now, it is important to note with not just the motes, but all of these crafting materials, if you have the capability to do it, there is no reason for you to go down to the lower tier. So, for example, say I'm wanting to farm plain motes. I don't want to go to Chaos 1 to farm them. I want to farm them in Chaos 3. As Chaos 1, with the individual materials, is going to give us a chance of getting a plain leather, for example. Chaos 2 is going to guarantee us that we're going to get 1 leather, and then Chaos 3 is going to guarantee 1 with a chance at getting a second. Now, it's not a huge chance, but you do see it quite often, so it's definitely fairly common to get 2 in the particular bracket. Now, same thing can be said about shinies in Chaos 4, 5, and 6. In Chaos 4, it's a chance to drop. In Chaos 6, it's a guaranteed one, plus the chance of getting an additional. Now, once again, you never want to drop too low in tier, with one exception, and that is shard farming. Obviously, if you're looking for destruction shards, you're going to be best off farming in Chaos 1 and getting those crafting materials along the way. Now, talismans are going to drop from either of the pirate maps or high seas maps. Talismans are used to re-roll a primary stat. Now, the primary stat, of course, is the stat at the top. So, no matter what it is, whether it be a weapon, a piece of armor, or a relic, you're only going to be able to re-roll that top stat. Yes, this means that on armor items, you're only going to be able to re-roll the armor stat, as that is the primary stat on that device. You're going to require talismans to re-roll these. Now, we all know about re-rolling mods. Re-rolling mods, that's how you get the 10 of 10s, because we know the rarity of them is just crazy. However, you can re-roll mods and have the chance of getting a 10 out of 10. It takes 286 re-rolls to guarantee yourself a perfect 10 out of 10. That is built into the game. So you can re-roll as many different items as you like. That is per account. So say I wanted to re-roll this canister and I rolled it 200 times and didn't get a 10 out of 10, and then I moved over to the souvenir, this Lavamancer arm, I would only have to roll it another 86 times, and that would guarantee me a 10 out of 10 mod. Now let's take a look at the war table and which regions these specifically drop. Now, when you load into an expedition, if you click this Advanced tab over here, it's going to give you a better look. So let's go ahead and click Advanced, and we see we've got a drop-down box for the various regions. So we've got Town, Castle, Ruins, the Life Route, Dungeons, Rotting Ravine, High Seas, and Drakenfrost maps. Each region drops specific materials. Doesn't matter which map you play in that region. For example, if we go to Dragonfall Castle, and we look in the bottom right-hand corner of the browser here, we see we're going to get hammers, we're going to get motes, and we're going to get amps, as these all three will drop from any map in any region. However, the item-specific region for town maps is rings, so we are going to get rings if we farm it up in town. Always look to the bottom right-hand corner. You can see what materials are going to drop there. There are a couple of buggy instances throughout the interface, though, where it either doesn't show material or shows the incorrect material. However, they are by region, so if Dragonfall Bazaar drops rings, then we know that the Gates of Dragonfall is going to drop rings as well. So if we move on over to castles, we see that's going to be the same usuals plus quills. If we move on down to the dungeons, of course, we see we get those clusters. So you can find out where to get what crafting material you want directly from the war table and the browser for upgrading your items. Now, if you are a brand new player to the game, I will tell you that crafting materials are a hot commodity, meaning if you get a ton of them, they sell for a bunch, but on that same note, you are going to want a ton of them. So it's best not to waste these on upgrading items unless you absolutely have to. And although you can make some quick gold by selling them, you might end up regretting it down the road if you need those particular crafting materials. Now, in addition to finding these materials naturally, you can always down convert your materials at the material conversion vendor, which is the Enchantress right here in your tavern. Say, for example, that I needed shiny clusters and all I have is pristine clusters. Well, I can convert my pristine clusters to shiny clusters for a defender medal or material and amp cost. So it's going to be 1 for 1 in this particular example. It's going to cost me 4 Chaos 7 amps and then either 7 Defender medals or 35,000 gold. So if you are desperate, you can convert materials this way. Now, in addition, you can up-convert Chaos 8 amps, so if you're not finding a Chaos 8 amp and you just need one for that 1 amp warrior build, come on over here, throw in some Chaos 7 amps, and you convert that to a Chaos 8 amp at the rate of 325 to 1. That sounds a little bit excessive, however, if you're farming and you're grinding, you're going to have tons of these Chaos 7 amps, and if you're not having any luck getting a Chaos 8 amp, this may be the way for you to get your first one. Now, in addition to that, it does have the hefty fee of 500 Defender medals or 1.5 million gold. So hopefully this helps answer some questions on crafting materials and where you get them. If you have any more questions or comments, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button, please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon with more Dungeon Defenders 2. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.